We're saying is the value there to pay him what he wants? And I would argue no.
Okay,
Think about it from.
All right, welcome back. This is Zeke Sports Takes Reaction Videos. We're talking about Saquon Barkley. Should he get paid? Should he not get paid? Let's jump right into it.
Cannot give a running back coming off an ACL a couple years ago who's been 4 years. I can't give him that kind of money. I can't do it. And it's unfortunate because the running back, you know, as Bill Belichick says, there's a bunch of car wrecks that he has to deal with on a week-to-week basis, and these running backs wear out. So $16 million, whatever that guarantee might be, it's a cap issue more so than it is, you know, trying to take care of the player. They got to keep the team together. They have to pay Jones. They don't have to pay Barkley. I would say no to paying him $16 million.
Yeah, they tried to negotiate with Saquon during the bye week, and the Giants were rumored to want to be in that $12 to $12.5 million a year on a 4-year deal, and Saquon Barkley wanted around $14 million. There's a big gap there, and I struggle with paying Saquon that type of money, what he's asking for, because there's so many other priorities that the Giants have to take care of before you even get to Saquon. You got to take care of Daniel Jones, but you also got to take care of All-Pro Andrew Thomas, your left tackle. You also have to take care of defensive tackle All-Pro Dexter Lawrence. And think about it from this standpoint. The positions of importance when it comes to winning in the National Football League, the quarterback, the pass rusher, and the offensive line.
Left tackle.
Those are the guys that you got to take care of.
Yep.
And that's what the Giants and Joe Shane should be focused on this offseason. I can't afford to pay a running back that's had the injury history that Saquon Barkley has had, top of the market money. It just ain't going to happen. He can haggle about saying it's not Christian McCaffrey or Zeke Elliott, but $14 million is more than Nick Chubb is getting paid. And he ain't a better running back than Nick Chubb. I'm sorry to say it. Nick Chubb was an all-pro this year. So when it comes to the decisions that have to be made, this is a tough one because of what he represents for the organization on and off the field. But Stephen A., you got to be willing to let him walk into free agency. You can't throw the boat at Saquon Barkley.
I think both.
So is there somebody you're supposed to listen to out of all these people, Stephen A., Mad Dog, and Chris Canty? It's Chris Canty. For one, he used to play for the Giants, won a Super Bowl ring with us in 2011. For two, he also works for the New York Giants as our analyst on our website, Giants.com. And I'm a Giants fan, so I know about this situation. Let's just say that. So let's just dive into what Chris Canty said first. We have so many holes, and you have to pay Dexter Lawrence, and you got to pay left tackle Andrew Thomas. No doubt about either one of those. So let's start with left tackle Andrew Thomas. You can pay him next year. You don't have to pay him right now. Andrew Thomas could get shelved for next year. You're already going to cut Kenny Galladay, so that's going to save you about $16 million. Leonard Williams is going to get cut. That's going to save a lot of money, or he's going to restructure to stay with the Giants. So there's money to be had here. Now, listen, nobody loves Nick Chubb more than I do. I think Nick Chubb's the best back in the league. I think he's better than Josh Jacobs. I've been saying this for a long time. Y'all haven't heard me, but I'm telling you, Nick Chubb's the best back in the league, in my opinion. Now, with that being said, this offense ran strictly through Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. Let's diagnose each, because they're both on the table to get paid this year. Daniel Jones, through 17 games, had 15 touchdowns. Well, he only played 16. So through 16 games, he only had 15 touchdowns, over 3,000 yards passing. And there's a big war on Giants fans right now if we should either pay Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, or neither. But our offense strictly ran between those two. Daniel Jones also had 700 yards on the ground. So I understand what Chris Canty's saying, but hear me out when I say this. Out of the top 10 running backs by yardage, 5 of them were in the postseason. 7 of them were in a win and you're in scenario at the end of the season. You have to have a good running back on your team. We get this notion that you don't need a running back. Bullshit, you need a fucking running back. Look at the Bills. The Bills have struggled because they relied too much on Josh Allen. You look at the Bengals. The Bengals have a hell of a receiving core, a fucking triple-headed monster over there. But they also have a double-headed monster in Pirine and Mixon. You gotta have a running game. Pacheco for the Chiefs came in and saved that running game. Now look at the Chiefs. The fucking Eagles. Miles Sanders, over 1,000 yards. All a Pro Bowl running back. Christian McCaffrey with the Niners, Pro Bowl running back. Could have been an all-pro if he would play with the Niners all year. So the remaining 4 teams have all good running backs. We got to stop this notion of you don't need a running back in this league, because you absolutely do. You could get it done with the average running back if and only if your offensive line is like that. Saquon Barkley ran behind an offensive line that was not good, especially up the middle, for 1,300 yards. We have a lot of holes on this team, but Saquon Barkley is necessary for this team to be successful, unless we fix our O-line.
You need to be drug tested. Something wrong with y'all. You talking about Saquon Barkley?
Yeah.
Mr. 1,312 yards rushing,
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley?
Yep.
Mr. 295 attempts, 76 receptions, Saquon Barkley?
Yeah.
When you put him out there, you got nothing else. You gave it, you threw out an offense, Saquon Barkley and a bag of chips. That's what you threw out there this season. And you got to the playoffs. And you telling me that this dude goes out there and performs the way that he does, and he's the one that has to be deprived of somebody? Y'all done lost y'all damn minds. Let me tell you something right now. I do understand. Listen, let me be very clear about this.
Okay.
I get the hesitancy, all right, because of the injury, because he plays the running back position, all right? I would say this to you. He played 13 games last year, and he played all 16 games this year.
Yeah.
ACL injury was 2 years ago. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. All right, that's number one. Number two, he balled out. He didn't show any ill effects from that ACL injury. That could happen to anybody in football.
Yes.
Number three, you brought up Daniel Jones first. I ain't sold to no damn Daniel Jones. I mean, it was nice he had some moments, but I'm not sold to no Daniel Jones. No, not more than. Now, I do understand that the quarterback position is far more important than the running back position, but I ain't sold on him. And then I also, you talk about free agency and all this stuff. Are we sure who they can get? Are we sure that they're going to have anybody if you lose to Saquon Barkley? Because as much as the Giants were outmanned and what have you, the fact of the matter is, for the most part, they played well this year. Let's give credit where credit is due. Their defense, the personnel that they had in place. We understand they could upgrade it, but nevertheless, the point is, what really, really was their detriment is that their offense couldn't do anything.
Okay, I just had to say one thing. Did you really just call the Giants offense, because the blows are hurting right now, Saquon Barkley and a bag of chips?
And a
So
bag
disrespectful.
Of chips. And a bag of chips.
The bag of chips reference was disrespectful, but I don't disagree with Stephen A. Smith. You got to think, we had a rookie tight end in Bellinger. He got his eye poked out, so he missed a couple games. He was good, though. Left tackle, Andrew Thomas, all-pro. Yeah, Saquon Barkley, obviously, he could have been an all-pro. He was a Pro Bowl running back. Daniel Jones, really good player. You had Isaiah Hodgins, who came in the middle of the season and started balling out. The other 6 players, most people can't even tell me who they are. We didn't have a lot of talent on this offensive side of the ball. Really, we didn't have talent any goddamn where on this team, besides a couple positions. But somehow we made it work with Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. They, to me, are a package deal. One goes, there's no point on keeping the other one.
So disrespectful.
Wow.
Listen, Stephen,
I'm still on the floor over that.
I said it in a minute. Damn
ain't
it, I didn't
nobody
stutter.
saying that the Giants
What?
offense didn't run through Saquon Barkley this year. That's not what we're saying.
I didn't say you said that.
We're saying, is the value there to pay him what he wants?
Got it.
And I would argue no.
Okay,
Think about it from
And I would argue yes, because unless we have a stellar offensive line, which I think PFF ranked our offensive line 30th in the league, then we just can't plug and play another running back there and think we're going to get Saquon Barkley numbers. It doesn't happen. Everything ran through Saquon first. I would much rather keep Saquon and let Daniel Jones walk, because I think you could replicate 15 touchdowns. He didn't average a touchdown a game. I think you could replicate that. You cannot replicate what Saquon Barkley did by just throwing anybody out there. Fuck the narrative of you don't need a running back. You fucking need a running back in this league to take pressure off of your quarterback. End the story. All right, this was Zeke Sports Takes Reacts. Hey, let me know what y'all think. Should the Giants pay Saquon? Should they let him walk? What about Daniel Jones? Also, put that in the comment section. As always, like, comment, subscribe. This is Zeke. I'm out. Peace.